everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So I'm here to do my 72-hour review of the Xiaomi Mi 11. I've been using the phone for the last 3 days now. I've got some thoughts, I've got some impressions, I've got some opinions, and I'm going to tell you about them here. So that way, if you're in the market for one of these, hopefully I can tell you about my experience and you can make a conscious and informed decision if this is something that you want. Now, overall, I've really been enjoying it. I think it brings a lot to the table. I love the hardware that's in it. The Snapdragon 888 processor is zippy, it is powerful, and I'm getting over 6-7 hours screen on time, no problem with it. And it's got a gorgeous 120 Hz AMOLED Quad HD Plus resolution. So the best and the brightest that Android can bring to the table right now, it's right here. And we're going to talk about it. But before we do, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, I appreciate you being here. If you enjoy the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. Let's talk about Xiaomi Mi 11. First things first, it is an absolutely beautiful phone. The Xiaomi Mi 11, it's got Victus glass on it. I've got this horizon blue color and it looks exactly like that. You can see how it catches the light and has kind of an iridescent glow to it, but at the same time, you can tell that it's got that light blue kind of cyan effect to it. Looks really, really nice. It looks like the afternoon sky and I really, really like the way it looks. Weighs about 196 grams, it's just under half a pound. It is not overbearing, it's not overly large, it's balanced really well. You can see the 108 megapixel camera very clearly on the back there. Takes excellent shots, I like it. Shoots 8K video at up to 30 frames per second or even 24 frames per second, so you can choose, and that's actually a leg up over the S21 Ultra that only does 24 frames per second on 8K. It shoots 4K at 60 on the back, which is really, really nice. It takes excellent video. And I'll show you some here in a little bit. And then on the front-facing selfie camera, unfortunately, it only does 1080p, but you can do 1080p at 60. I think it's a miss in the capability department because it really should have 4K at least 30. 4K 60 would be ideal, but some reason or another they opted not to. 20 megapixel camera on the front, beautiful 6.81-inch AMOLED display with a built-in optical fingerprint sensor, which is really nice because it works so well. And it even has haptic feedback, and I think that might be the first time I've encountered that. It's really cool. You get the little vibration in the screen whenever you do the fingerprint sensor. It also has facial unlocking technology, check mark there. You can see that it's really fast. It's actually pretty darn accurate and reliable. I like it. I do like the hole punch cameras in the top left corner there. The way they've done this wallpaper, it's black up there so you don't really see it. I think it hides well, and I think it works well. And then on the back, you've got a 5 megapixel macro lens so you can take your up close and personal and National Geographic shots. And it has a 13 megapixel ultra wide, which is also quite capable. It does night mode. It has a special mode to take pictures of the moon. I would really like to do that. I will definitely do that in time for the full review, but the weather has been really terrible here and I haven't seen the moon since I got this phone 3 days ago. Dual stereo speakers, Harmon kardon. And the form factor on here is nice and it's sleek, but you can see the little dots here. You've got the speaker up top, and then you've got a matching speaker down on the bottom. Great volume, nice and loud, and great quality. It's not just volume, it's volume and it's quality. You have a really good sound experience. This phone is great for gaming, it's great for multimedia consumption. Like I was saying earlier, 6.81-inch AMOLED display, 120 Hz refresh rate, so you get that smooth reduction in motion blur. It makes great experience for watching videos, for playing games, for just scrolling through your feeds and enjoying being able to see more of what's on the screen as opposed to it kind of blurring by quickly when you scroll. So I like that a lot. HDR10 Plus, 10-bit color. It's got everything that you could possibly ask for, very much online with the pro caliber recording features in some ways that even the iPhone 12 Pro Max has. It does 4K 60 on the front and the back, just like the S21 Ultra does. So again, that's the biggest handicap on this phone to me, is that it doesn't do 4K 60 on the front. I think that it should. Now the Snapdragon 888 is no slouch, so much power. It's got the 5G modem built in. However, here in the United States, you're likely not going to get 5G, even though this is a global model. I'm using T-Mobile, I'm not getting 5G. The 4G LTE connection is perfectly reliable. You should have no problems with this on any GSM unlocked network in the US. It's got a really, really nice and sleek form factor. I know we talked about this some earlier, but that's one of the winning features about this phone. It looks super nice. My wife absolutely loves it. She's like, this is the best looking phone that I've ever seen. And in some ways I tend to agree with her. Pleasure to use. It's got solid haptic feedback. It's got Gboard built in. It's got MIUI on it, which is Xiaomi's take on Android, and it's running Android 11 now. So you've got the latest and greatest. It's good. This phone is really good, and I've used a couple of Xiaomi products, and I had the Xiaomi Mi 9T last year, or sorry, 2 years ago now. I bought it, had it imported. I liked it a lot, but the MIUI was really what held it back for me. Kind of clunky, didn't feel as nice and smooth and as modern as like One UI or iOS. And then bumping it up now, the Mi 11, and it's such a great experience. You get the swipe gestures, you get everything you could ask for, and it's pretty reasonable with security updates too, with having a January security update already, and we're into February, and that's pretty impressive because most manufacturers are not able to keep up with that unless you're mostly Google or OnePlus. So they get a thumbs up in that department, and yeah, it's got a 4600 milliamp battery, and that will get you powered through the day. You shouldn't have any problem. You should get at least 6 to 7 hours screen on time, no problem, even without using any of the adaptive features. I don't routinely use dark mode. I don't use adaptive brightness. I don't keep the brightness turned down. I keep it turned up as high as possible usually, which I like. It's not necessarily good for my eyes, and it does max out at 1500 nits of brightness, which is on par with the S21 Ultra. It is crazy bright. If you take this outside and it's bright and sunshiny, you can see the screen. Don't really have any problems there. So I think it's a well-rounded phone. I think it's very much flagship caliber phone, and it's a pleasure to use. It's really nice being able to get something like this for about $900 in the US, as opposed to having to spend $1,200, $1,300 to get a top-of-the-line S21 Ultra. So I think it's competitive. And yes, it has fixed storage. I'm not crazy about that. So there's no expandable SD card. There is dual SIMs in it, which is nice if you get the global unlocked edition. And it has 128 gigabyte storage configuration with 8 gigs of RAM, or you can get it with 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. So I feel like it should have been 256 and 512. It would have been really nice if it had expandable storage, so you could capitalize even further on that. I don't see why they keep taking this out of phones. I don't like it. It doesn't have a headphone jack with it, which is unfortunate, but they do include a dongle in the box, so you're covered in the event that you want to listen to your regular headphones. No IP68 dust and water resistance, which is also kind of but phones coming out of China, some of them don't have that, especially the OnePlus phones are very notorious for that because it costs extra money to get that certification. And they don't want to pay for that because then the phone price will be overinflated, and mostly they're fine. Just don't drop them in the pool. Don't take them in the pool, and for that matter, don't take your phones in the water, even if they are IP68. It's just not worth it. USB-C charging. It has 55 watt wired charging. You can buy it in 2 different models where it comes with the global charger, but it's for 220 volt, not for 110. So you can't use that here in the States. It's kind of unfortunate. Maybe buy the one without the power brick, but it also has 50 watt wireless charging if you have a wireless charger that will support that. So there's a whole lot going on for this phone. I absolutely have enjoyed using it, and it kind of makes me in some ways wish I didn't spend $1,200 on my S21 Ultra, which I also like quite a bit. And you can see my comparison video that I made a couple days ago comparing both of these phones. Now let's go ahead and I want to show you some of the video clips and the camera shots that I took with this. You can have a look at these and see what the cameras are capable of, because I think that they've done a pretty darn good job outfitting this phone. So I'm trying something a little bit different today. This is day one with the brand new Xiaomi Mi 11. This thing, so far, I'm really impressed with it. And I wanted to come out, do some walking around, and let you get a feel for how good the camera is. Because of course, who doesn't like to watch a vlog style video? So I'm gonna go through, test out the Xiaomi Mi 11, show off the camera, show off the video, and let's get started. So this is on 8K at 30 frames per second. This one will shoot 8K in 24 frames per second or 30 frames per second. So I think that's pretty cool. Super high resolution, so much pixel density here, and I think that it looks good. The color accuracy is solid, and this is even without the video stabilization on, because it doesn't do that when it's at 8K, but the microphones are still spot on. And look, you can even zoom in. So this is a feature that some other phones don't allow for you to do. I mean, this is on 8K, and we're still able to zoom in up to 6 times while we're recording. So I think that that's really impressive. That adds another feature to the list of things that this camera is capable of doing on the phone, and it handles the light really well too. So this right here, 8K, 30 frames per second, spot on. So this right here is actually a really cool feature, and this is something that you don't see in a lot of phones. I've actually been hoping something like this would come along for quite a while. They have the split screen dual camera usage. So you can see here on the left hand side we've got the primary camera, so you can see what's in front of the phone, and then right here on the right hand side you see me talking, so you've got the selfie camera, the primary shooter working together. So I think this is really cool, and something I think a lot more phones should have, but it's neat that they have this built in as a feature. Here are some samples I have so far with the Mi 11. I really like the color balance that the cameras have on this phone. It's sharp, it looks great, you can see the detail here, the colors and the crispness just looks so good. Of course the food looks good too. You know I can't have a camera test without some food. There's my dog also. So I took a lot of real world, normal, day-to-day stuff, and there will be more coming, but I just wanted to let you see some samples and how good the cameras are. All right, pretty cool, huh? I think, like I said, they did a good job building out the camera. It's got a lot of different flexibility, a lot of options, a lot of features to where you can shoot some really good quality video or some good pictures with it, and even has the 30 times zoom. I wish it had an optical lens. It doesn't. I feel like that's an area where they could improve, maybe with the Mi 11 Pro that comes out in a couple of months. But on here, I know there's a huge emphasis on the primary camera, but I really wish it had a telephoto. I wish it had IP rating. I wish it had expandable storage. And these are a couple of the things that I would like to see in the next iteration. But overall, I think that they've done a good job. I think that this is a quality presentation for an Android device in 2021. Under $1,000, cheaper than the Ultra model on the S21. So that makes it very competitive, even cheaper than the iPhone 12 Pro, and especially the Pro Max. So this is a great option if you're considering picking one of these up. Again, it works great for me here on LTE network and on T-Mobile, even though it's not 5G. But yeah, I think that it's gorgeous. It comes with the clear case. It doesn't come with this one. This was part of the review unit. So I do like this case. If you want to order this official one from Xiaomi, I like it a lot, really. And it complements the phone well. So that's all I've got on my 72-hour review of the phone. Like I said, I've said this a few times. I've really been enjoying using it. This is not a paid video. This is not being sponsored by Xiaomi. I'm not being paid for this, not being compensated. They're not getting to see this before you are. It's my own objective thoughts and feels when it comes to the Xiaomi Mi 11. And so far, it gets a thumbs up. Now, that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I will get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.